You don't chase success. You become the kind of man that success can't ignore. That's the truth nobody told you. Success isn't running from you. It's watching you, waiting, measuring who you are when no one's watching. And most men, they're not ready. Not because they're weak, but because they're focused on the wrong things. They want the money, the body, the freedom, but they forget the one thing that makes all of it possible: identity. The life you want won't show up while you're still the same man. It doesn't respond to wishing. It responds to decision, to posture, to the standard you hold yourself to. This isn't another dose of motivation. This is a mirror, a call, a manual for internal war. Because the moment you stop chasing results and start becoming the man who naturally attracts them, everything changes. Every single day, with every choice, every habit, every thought you tolerate, you're shaping the man you're becoming. The question is that man leading you toward your future or away from it? Because success is an event. It's a reflection. It reflects who you are in the shadows, in the quiet decisions no one claps for, in the moments when you could quit. But don't. You want respect? Then stop walking like you're lost. You want wealth? Then stop thinking like a man who's just trying to survive. You want to be remembered? Then stop living like someone who's comfortable being invisible. The world responds to the energy you carry, and that energy is born from your identity. When you move with intention, the world shifts. When you speak with conviction, doors open. When you lead, even without a title, opportunities recognize you. But it all starts inside, in silence, in the way you see yourself when your eyes are closed. Are you building a warrior or feeding an imposter? Edwin C. Barnes. You may have never heard of him, but he's one of the greatest examples of what it means to become before you have. He wasn't rich. He had no connections, no impressive background, but he had one thing: an unshakable vision to become Thomas Edison's business partner. Not an employee, not an assistant, a partner. So what did he do? He climbed onto a freight train and rode it across states with nothing but belief and intention. When he finally arrived, he didn't beg for a job. He declared his purpose. I came here to go into business with you. Edison saw something in his eyes that no resume could fake: conviction. So he gave him what most would consider a meaningless position. But Barnes didn't treat it as small. He treated it as the first door. He worked quietly, proved himself daily, showed value without demanding attention. And when the moment came, he was ready. Edison offered him an opportunity to sell a brand new invention. Barnes crushed it. He became the exclusive distributor. He became Edison's partner, just like he had envisioned years before. Why? Because Barnes thought, spoke, and behaved like a partner long before the title ever existed. The world didn't give him the role. It simply caught up to who he already was. Lesson? You'll never be respected externally until you respect yourself internally. Success doesn't answer begging. It responds to alignment. Henry Ford wasn't born great. He didn't inherit wealth. He had no map to follow. And no one cheered for him in the beginning. In fact, he was laughed at. He built 2 car companies that failed before the Ford Motor Company ever existed. But Ford carried something the world couldn't see: a mindset forged in certainty. While others said cars were a luxury for the elite, Ford believed every man should be able to own one. While the crowd waited for the right timing, he was busy creating the future. He didn't doubt his vision because the market didn't believe in it. He didn't give up because the experts said it was impossible. Why? Because he wasn't a man with just a plan. He was a man with a mission. And mission doesn't wait for applause. It doesn't ask for permission. It executes. Ford believed in his vision so deeply, the world eventually had to adjust. He didn't just build cars. He built a mindset. He built a standard. And most of all, he built proof that the impossible will bend a man who refuses to. Here's the truth. You don't need the world to believe in you. You need to believe in yourself so completely that the world has no choice. You want success? You want freedom? You want impact? Good. Now answer this with no filters. Who do you need to become to deserve that life? Because the man you are today won't survive at that level. He'll sabotage it, waste it, collapse under the pressure of a dream he wasn't built to carry. If you want wealth, you must think, act, and move like the man who creates it, protects it, multiplies it. If you want respect, you must live as someone who respects himself even in silence, especially in silence. If you want to leave a legacy, then you need to stop living in automatic mode and start acting like someone who knows time is running out. The problem isn't your dream. It's that your identity still doesn't match it. You want to attract bigger things? Then elevate who you are when no one's watching. Because you don't attract what you want. You attract what you represent. The world doesn't respond to intentions. It responds to frequency. And your frequency is shaped by your habits, your thoughts, and your standards. Wake up, stand up, step into the version of you that already lives that life. And ask yourself daily, is what I'm doing right now part of the life I say I want? If the answer is no, you already know what needs to change. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract opportunities? They're not always smarter, not better looking, not even more talented. But they have one thing most don't: invisible preparation. Here's the truth. Opportunities don't go to those who need them. They go to those who are ready for them. If you're not living the life you want, maybe it's not because you're unlucky. Maybe it's because you haven't become the man that life requires. You want a high-level relationship, but you still live with self-sabotaging habits. You want a chance to level up professionally, but you still run from structure and discipline. You want to be admired, but you don't even keep your word to yourself. The world feels who you are before you speak, and it tests you. It sends resistance, delay, silence, not to punish you, but to see if your identity is stable or just a costume. That opportunity that hasn't shown up yet, that door that didn't open, that breakthrough that still hasn't come. Maybe it's not because it wasn't meant to be. Maybe it's because you weren't yet built to carry it. But you can prepare like it's already on the way. Because one day it will show up, and it will only stay if you're ready to hold it with both hands. Most people chase success like they're chasing a shadow. They shout, they post quotes, they show effort, they flex ambition. But deep down, they're still small. You don't attract what you talk about. You attract what you embody when no one's watching. And success feels that. You've seen it before. The kind of man who walks into a room and immediately commands respect without saying a word. It's not about money. It's not about clothes. It's about presence. Presence built in silence, in pain, in discipline, in a private standard repeated until it becomes who you are. Success doesn't chase noise. It follows frequency. And frequency can't be faked. It's shaped in the dark, in how you speak to yourself, in what you consume, in what you tolerate, in what you no longer allow in your space. You want to live on a higher level? Then raise your standard. Not just when someone's watching, especially when no one is. Because here's the brutal truth. What you do in the dark determines what you live in the light. You keep chasing because deep down, you still think you need to prove something to the world, to people, to life. But here's the truth that stings and frees you. The man who's real doesn't chase. He attracts. You don't need to scream to be heard. You don't need to beg to be seen. You only need to become undeniable. And that happens when your identity is so aligned with your vision. That life has no choice but to bring it to you. Being magnetic isn't a gift. It's a standard. It's when you move, speak, and think like someone who already has what he once wanted. While most are begging for attention, you become the man they can't ignore. This isn't arrogance. It's quiet conviction. It's the calm of a man who doesn't chase hype, because he is what others pretend to be. You want to attract better opportunities? Then carry yourself like you've already outgrown the small ones. Speak with precision. Walk with purpose. Decide with certainty. Because success isn't convinced by your words. It's drawn to your presence. Inspiration will fail. Motivation will disappear. Energy will fluctuate. And life, it will test you. What keeps you standing isn't feeling. It's discipline. Discipline is what you do when no one is watching. It's the workout done in silence. The right decision made without applause. The promise you keep, even when you don't feel like it. Most people only show up when they're in the mood. But the man who attracts success shows up regardless of the mood. Rain, fear, fatigue, doesn't matter. He shows up because he understands something most ignore. Discipline is freedom. Freedom from emotional chaos. Freedom from inconsistency. Freedom to build while others wait for the perfect vibe. You don't need to be the most talented. You just need to be the most consistent, the most committed, the most loyal to the man you're becoming. When the world crumbles, the disciplined man remains. Because he doesn't act based on emotion. He acts based on identity. You've fallen. You failed. You messed up. You tried, and it didn't work. So what? Are you going to quit over that? Then hear this. Failure isn't here to destroy you. It's here to shape you. You say you want to grow? Then understand this. Every new level demands a version of you that doesn't exist yet, and that version is born in pain, in exposure, in the sting of messing up in front of the world. There's no shortcut. The great ones weren't spared from humiliation. They just didn't let it write the final chapter. You think Ford didn't fail? You think Edison wasn't mocked? You think the legends never heard, "You won't make it"? They heard it, they fell, and they came back stronger. Because real failure isn't falling. It's refusing to learn. It's hiding. It's quitting before you even see what you're made of. Yes, you'll be tested, but if you hold, if you rise, if you use every failure as a recalibration, you'll emerge more solid than ever. And when that happens, the world won't see your mistakes. They'll see the strength that was built from them. You won't go far if you don't know where you're going. Hard work without direction is just motion. Effort without clarity is just noise. You can grind all day, but if you're running in circles, you'll die tired and empty. The man who attracts success doesn't move by emotion. He moves by vision. He has clear goals, deadlines, plans. He knows what he wants, when he wants it, and what must be done today to make it real. He doesn't say, "I want to be successful." He says, "I will accomplish X by this date with these actions." Because vague goals create vague results, and the mind needs precision to activate real focus. When your vision becomes specific, your energy shifts, your time becomes sacred, your decisions become lethal. Everything that doesn't serve your goal disappears. That's the secret of those who build legacy. They don't leave their life to chance. They command it, and that command isn't just mental. It's practical, it's strategic, it's daily. You want to be that man? Then define your future. And every day, act like you're already on the path. Because you are. What are you still waiting for? For someone to pick you? For validation? For a sign from the skies saying, "Go now"? Forget it. It's not coming. You weren't made to ask for permission. You were made to lead. The world only respects those who stand up, those who beat their chest and say, "I am responsible for my reality." It's not about luck, not inheritance, not the perfect time. It's about decision. Most men will die waiting for the green light, but the man who attracts success becomes the light. He starts with what he has, where he is, afraid, maybe, uncertain, definitely, but he moves anyway. And you know what happens? Reality bends. Doors creak open. People notice. Opportunities appear. Because the universe doesn't move for the hesitant. It responds to a man who moves like the author of his own story. Right now, you have two choices. Keep waiting for someone to authorize you, or rise and become your own authority. Leadership isn't a title. It's presence, conviction, the quiet force of a man who doesn't follow paths. He creates them. You made it here. And if you did, it's because something inside you already knows. Change doesn't come from the outside. It comes from within. You don't need more hype. You need identity. From this moment forward, you're not living like someone who's trying. You live like someone who already is. You don't wake up waiting for motivation. You wake up and move. You don't chase success. You attract it with your discipline, your presence, your quiet fire. You walk like a man who knows he belongs at the top, and you're done asking for permission. Say this with clarity. I am the kind of man success respects. I act like the owner of my life. I am non-negotiable with who I'm becoming. From today on, no more lowering your standard. No more survival mode. No more living like a weaker version of who you were born to be. The world isn't waiting for you to feel ready. It's waiting for you to show up. So show up with strength, with direction, with identity. Success isn't far. It's just waiting for you to become the man that naturally attracts it. Be that man. Now,